This week, we are going to read A Better Way by Juan Quintana. Now, if I come over here, I can figure out what A Better Way is going to be about. You can see that it's a National Geographic exclusive. It's a persuasive article. So we're going to read a persuasive article. Now, if you remember, we've talked about author's purpose. And one of the reasons that an author writes or creates something is to persuade you. So pay attention to what this article might be persuading you to try to do. Genres. A persuasive article states an opinion about an issue and gives evidence to support it. Text features. Text is divided into parts called sections. A section heading tells what a section is about, and right here it gives us an example. So right here we have a section heading. This right here, a new solution. That's the heading. Then here's the section. And this will tell us a new solution. It will tell us about that section heading. Okay, so let's look through it. You can see that this is a photograph. It's not a drawing. It's not a painting. It's an actual photograph. On this page, we have a photograph. You can see that there's a caption. Remember, the caption tells us more information about the picture. So crops planted in a forest. Does this forest look like the forest we've been to in Utah? Probably not. If you come over here to this page, though, you can see here's a section heading, right? So here's a section heading. Here's a section heading. This is going to tell us the pictures are slash and burn agriculture. So it gives us a picture and then a caption. So right here, farmers cut down trees. Farmers burn the dry trees to clear the land. Farmers plant crops. When the land wears out, they clear new land. Let's go to this next page. Ooh, right here we have a photograph of some people. This is Segura and Simoes, were named emerging explorers by the National Geographic Society. The society wanted to thank them for their work. Then remember right here we have a globe with a map, and you can see it showing South America. Then in little tiny print you can see Brazil. You can see this red area is pointing to Brazil. So look right here. What is this called? Do you remember? Come back to the beginning. It's called a section heading. So here's a section heading, right? Here's some more photographs on this side. This is for this caption goes for this picture, Simoes and Segura check plants in a greenhouse. So they're checking plants in a greenhouse. And we have a greenhouse at our school, right? If you turn the page again, there's more section headings. Here's some more illustrations. Photographs. This one is inside the fruit of a cocoa tree are seeds. The seeds can be sold to make chocolate. And this picture, people like to buy beautiful flowers. These are orchids. Over here we have another picture. It's kind of like a diagram. It's a 5x5 system. So I'm looking at it and I see this person and then this person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of those has 5. So they had 5, and each of them has a family of 5. We'll have to see what that's trying to tell us. Here's another photograph. Palm hearts like these can grow on the same tree year after year. Up here is a picture of soybeans, and soybeans are a high value crop, which means they produce a lot of income. This right here is orchids grow naturally in the forest. And if you look really closely, you can see there's some sort of insect inside that orchid. Here, ooh, this is a cool photograph. If they can't farm, some farmers have to move to the city to find work. Now think about, we had another story a few weeks ago where we kind of made some predictions about farmers moving to the city to find work. Here's Brazil nuts. This right here is an unshelled Brazil nuts. Down here is Brazil nuts can be a sustainable crop. And there's a vocabulary word, crop, highlighted in yellow. And that will be the end. Now, I did not go over the vocabulary, so I'm going to stop and go through each of the vocabulary words down here at the bottom as I read so that you can get a better understanding of the text, okay? So, A Better Way by Juan Quintana. Hopefully you've been able to make some predictions and thought about what this article could be about. So, we're going to set a purpose. Learn about a method of farming that helps both the land and people. So there's different kinds of farming, and we're going to learn about a different type of farming, maybe something that we're not used to, that helps both the land and the people. So, losing trees. Every year, many acres of Earth's precious forest are cut down. Sometimes people cut down the forest for wood. Other times, they cut it down to make room for cattle. And if I look down here, oh, I skipped the word acres. If I look down here at cattle, means cows. Acres is a large area. So sometimes they cut down trees to make room for cattle or large farms. Often, poor farmers burn a small area of forest to clear it of trees or to get rid of the trees. In the cleared area, they plant crops to feed their families. This is called slash and burn agriculture, and slash means to cut. So cut and burn agriculture. So if I look down here at this illustration with this caption, slash and burn agriculture, now it makes more sense. Oh, they cut down the trees, then they burn it, then they are able to plant their crops in that land. For all of these reasons, forests have been disappearing. Some people blame humans. They think farming is the problem. To them, the solution is clear. People should stay out of the forest. Farming must be limited. And if I look down here, farming must be limited means people must not farm very much. That's how people feel. So think about what we've read already. Think about the important parts of just these 2 pages that we've read. What did we talk about in Losing Trees? Think about that in your mind about what we've read, okay? Then I want you to also think about this process over here. It happened in a sequential order, right? Sequence. It happens in order. They can't plant their crops and then cut down their trees. So think about that. A new solution. Paola Segura and Cid Simoes, who live in Brazil, have a different solution. So over here it said farming must be limited, but these guys are saying, well, we have a different solution. They agree that we need to help save trees, but they believe that we need to help people too. They think that the way to help the earth and the farmers is to use a way of farming. It is called sustainable agriculture. See how it's in parentheses? It's a type or a method of farming, sustainable agriculture. So I'm going to go to this page and then I'm going to come back. Using sustainable agriculture, farmers use the same small pieces of land over and over again to grow crops. That way they don't have to find new land and cut down more forests. So here they are looking at plants in a greenhouse. Over here, this is where they were named emerging explorers. So Segura and Simoes met in Costa Rica at Earth University. There they studied sustainable agriculture. They believe that farmers can earn money from a small piece of land. They can live there and raise their families or take care of their families. They can have healthy land and a community that lasts, or a community that stays together for a long time. So think about, what does sustainable agriculture mean? It was talked about on this page. Okay, helping farmers. Today, Segura and Simoes teach farmers about crops that grow well in the forest. Fruit trees and flowers can provide a good income or a way to make money. Fruit trees don't have to be replanted every year. Their deep roots help keep water and healthy nutrients in the soil. Some flowers, such as orchids, grow on less land than other crops. Farmers can sell their flowers to markets around the world. So we talked about these pictures. So here's the orchids and here's the cocoa trees. And this page, we talk about how fruit trees don't have to be replanted. So it makes it so that they don't have to do this process over and over. They can cut the trees, burn them down, plant their crops. And if they plant fruit trees, the fruit trees will just stay in the land and they can keep using the same land. They don't have to be replanted. Branching out. To make a difference, many farmers need to grow crops in this way. Segura and Samoas use a special plan to teach more farmers. It's called the 5x5 system. First, they teach one family how to grow crops that don't ruin the land. Then that family teaches 5 new families what they learned. Each new family teaches 5 more families. Think of all the land that could be saved in the future. So think about how this system works. Let me show you with this illustration. So these 2 people, they teach a family. They teach 5 families, but we're going to just show you. They teach a family. This family then teaches 5 families. Then this family will teach 5 families, and this family will teach 5 families, and this family will teach 5 families. So you can see that eventually they're going to teach a lot of people how to plant crops that are sustainable. Let's help farmers save land. Sustainable agriculture is good for the farmer. It is also good for the land. Here are 3 reasons why you should support this kind of farming or help this kind of farming. First, sustainable agriculture lets farmers grow crops on the same land year after year. So now they're giving us their opinion and facts to support their opinion. This is much better than slash and burn agriculture. When farmers stay on the same land, they build strong communities. So if they stay where they are, that means they have to live there, which means that they are working in the communities that they live in, which makes for strong communities. Over here, secondly, so here's a second reason why sustainable agriculture is good. Secondly, sustainable agriculture is better for the forest. Farmers don't need to clear new land every year. Instead, they can grow high-value crops or crops that are grown easily that people will always buy. That way, they can make money from a small amount of land. Some crops grow right in the forest. Farmers don't have to clear any land at all. So think about their opinion, right? They're saying, you should support sustainable agriculture, and here's the reasons why. They let farmers grow on the same land year after year. And over here, it's better for the forest because they don't have to clear new land, right? Finally, so here's their third reason. Sustainable agriculture keeps farmers farming. And if I look down here, it means lets farmers continue to farm. Every year, many poor farmers leave the land. They move to the city. This causes problems such as unemployment. Too few jobs for people in the city. So they might move there, but there won't be work for those people when they move there. It also leaves the land without people to care for it. So if they have a farm and then they move to the city, then their farm gets left and nobody's there to take care of it. To save forests and help farmers, we must support people like Paola Segura and Sid Samoas. We must be a part of the sustainable way of farming. What can you do to help? So think about this article. Think about why the author wrote this article. Remember, we talked about author's purpose: to persuade, to inform, to entertain. Why did the author write this article? Think about that. And then we'll read it again and answer some questions.